Parents, some of you have been asking how we can begin to introduce children to color names and shape names. Well, as we all know, and you certainly have been discovering during lockdown and these irregular school patterns, teaching is pretty tricky. It's not the easiest thing for any of us to do. So today, when we start talking about color names and shape names, I'm going to do a little lesson for you first. The first aspect for your job is to gather all those shapes and odd bits from the home that we had talked about several videos ago. You know, boxes that medicine came in, or cosmetic jars, or toilet paper and towel rolls. Just whatever odd things. Here's a cork. Maybe some little plates or trays. Here's a nice square box. Children's toys actually come in many different shapes, so look around at those. Collect all of these materials first in a basket or a box, which is accessible to the children, so they can begin to play with these things. The children have to experience the different sizes and shapes and curves and rounds, and what they can have fun actually doing with them. That engages their interest. So you're gathering the materials for a couple of days, then they're exploring them in a playful way for a couple of days. Now, meanwhile, you can do one more thing. Perhaps you can paint some of them, or you can wrap colored paper around some of them if you like. Of course, not essential. You can also try to get from the market some shaped blocks in different colors, and children's toys do provide those. One wonderful supply item, which is not so easy to get here, is called attribute blocks. Attribute blocks are blocks in various common shapes, circles, squares, rectangles, triangles, and the attribute or the characteristic is shown by the size, relative size, larger and smaller, different colors, and different shapes. These are only fun if you can easily get hold of them. If not, cut them out of colored paper. You can get some yellow paper and make some rectangles. So, first job is you getting prepared. Second job is letting the children begin to explore. Now, before we can teach the children the names of the colors or the names of shapes or really the names of anything, the children have to care about the item. The item has to mean something to them. They have to have fiddled around with it and become one with it. Oh yeah, I like this because I can do stuff with it. Then only are they ready to apply a name. Because remember, names are completely abstract. We might call this a jar, but it could be called anything. There's nothing inherent in jar and this item. So give the children a chance to become familiar with everything. Why not have them actually cut out and color some shapes? So you draw them on plain paper, trace around and color, then the children color them in, and they cut them. Again, they become engaged with this thing. Gradually, they'll come to know that it's a triangle. But right now, it's just that, oh wow, that is so cool. I can put it on top of this and make a hat. That's the exploration we're offering the children. In terms of colors, let's remember that early on in kindergarten, they generally focus on red, blue, and yellow, called the primary colors, and probably green because it's so much around us all the time. Let's do those first. Later on, you can work on black, white, and orange, again because they're so common. And how about whatever your child's favorite color is? Automatically, they'll be interested in it because it's their favorite. At a point, we need to ask, does a 3-year-old really need to know the word rectangle or triangle? Probably not. But we also know that some schools, preschools, nursery schools, want to introduce this vocabulary. So fine, we'll get there. But let's start with colors first. Colors are all around the children, and they can identify with those earlier on. So right now, after you collect your materials and maybe find or cut out some shapes, let the children do some cutting and coloring on their own and create whatever comes to mind. Maybe some trains, maybe some buildings, towers, robots. And then they'll have little pieces of colored paper. Oh, this is like a bunch of balloons, like I had on my birthday. The children have to feel an engagement with the items. So this is your task and their task for the next few days. We have, as you can see, some games and activities that we can work on together in further sessions. So get started. Let me know how it's going.